We recently took a look at 7 clubs who are punching above their weight at the moment, and we asked you if you'd like us to do a similar video for national teams. Well, enough of you said yes to convince us to do just that. Taking into account here are factors such as the country's population, their footballing past, and the quality of the players they have at their disposal, all in relation to how they're performing right now. Here are our top 7 overachieving national teams. Italy. Yeah, just kidding. Our sincere apologies to our Italian viewers during these difficult times. Portugal. No, this one's serious. Portugal may not seem like footballing underdogs. They've had a pretty decent side for much of their recent past, but they are still real overachievers. The country has a population of just over 10 million, and their triumph at the 2016 European Championships was the first piece of silverware in their history. It might not quite have been Greece in 2004, but Portugal was certainly surprise winners just 18 months ago. They were 20-1 to win the Euros before the tournament got underway. England were just 9-1 by the way, and the likes of France, Germany, and their near neighbour Spain were much more favoured. Of course, they do have some real talent at their disposal, with Cristiano Ronaldo still by far their standout player. They won 9 of their 10 qualifiers for the 2018 World Cup, and currently sit 3rd in FIFA's world rankings, behind only Germany and Brazil. Switzerland. Portugal and Switzerland were actually in the same qualifying group for the 2018 World Cup, and the Swiss also won 9 of their 10 games. Portugal topped the group on goal difference, but Switzerland will be heading to Russia, having controversially overcome Northern Ireland in their playoff match, another nation who could easily have made this 7. The Swiss have qualified for the last few World Cups, and the real test of their talents will of course be how they fare at the finals, but they still deserve to feature here. Switzerland has a population of just over 8 million, and whilst they can boast some handy players, they're far from a star-studded squad. Sweden. Sweden's near neighbours Denmark can consider themselves unfortunate to miss out on this 7, but the Swedes just sneak in. Whilst Denmark don't have a brilliant side, they can call upon the considerable talents of players like Christian Eriksen, Andreas Christensen, and Kasper Schmeichel. Since Zlatan Ibrahimovic called time on his international career, the Sweden squad really is short on genuine quality. Victor Lindelof, who's had a difficult start to life at Manchester United, and Emil Forsberg, who plays as a left winger for Leipzig, probably being their best individuals. Their overachievement was drummed home when they qualified for the 2018 World Cup with victory over Italy, bringing on a player who plays in the bottom half of the Belgian league and another who plays for the Seattle Sounders. The Swedes do have some international pedigree, but in their current predicament, they're punching above their weight. Croatia. A little like Portugal, in the sense that we have become used to Croatia being a decent team, but really they are tremendous overachievers. Little over 4 million people live in the country, and the team has only been playing since 1990, following the breakup of Yugoslavia. Croatia have some talented players, particularly in midfield, where they can boast the likes of Luka Modric and Ivan Rakitic. It took a playoff for Croatia to qualify for the World Cup proper in Russia, although they dispensed of Greece fairly comfortably and finished above the likes of Ukraine and Turkey in their group. Uruguay. Victims of their own success, Uruguay would probably top this 7 if it wasn't for one of the criteria being footballing past. For Uruguay have an exceptional footballing pedigree. In fact, depending on the criteria used, there is an argument for La Celeste being the most successful national team of all time. They have won 2 World Cups, 2 Olympic gold medals, and 15 Copa America titles. By comparison, Brazil have been crowned Copa America champions only 8 times. Now is probably a good time to remind everyone that Uruguay has a population of less than 3.5 million. More people live in Georgia and the Oman. They have just 5% of the population of the UK, 2% of the population of Nigeria, and 0.25% of the population of China. Yeah, okay, I'm probably getting a bit mathsy, but you get the point. There aren't many people in Uruguay. The country has an incredible passion for the sport, and they have a few genuinely top-class players, such as Luis Suarez, Edinson Cavani, and Diego Godin, mixed in among some far less well-known players. They finished second only to Brazil in qualification for the 2018 World Cup, ahead of the likes of Argentina, Colombia, and Chile, who missed out on qualification altogether. Panama. Group stage opponents for England and Russia, the 2018 World Cup will be Panama's first, having overcome more fancy nations like the United States to qualify automatically from their group. Panama is a small country of just 4 million people, and they have an ageing but characterful squad. A large number of their side play domestically in Panama's relatively unknown top flight, whilst others are dotted around the globe, right from the MLS to Guatemala and even Spain's third tier. Iceland. In top spot on who else could it be? Uruguay and Panama are relative giants compared to the genuine minnows of Iceland. With a population of just 346,000 people, which is roughly the same as Wakefield and fewer than Croydon, Iceland are international football's equivalent of a flyweight boxer taking on Anthony Joshua. Like Panama, the 2018 World Cup in Russia will be Iceland's first. But then again, the 2016 Euros were the first European Championships they had made it to, and they did alright there. They made the quarter-finals. So it's alright, we're over it. I promise. Anyway, Iceland have a decent workman-like squad, with a couple more gifted individuals, but even their most talented player plays for a team that just had to draft in Big Sam in fear of relegation to the Championship. Iceland backed up their impressive showing at the Euros by topping their group to qualify for the World Cup, ahead of Croatia, Turkey, and the Ukraine. All in all, Iceland are a tiny country with very little footballing past, very few star players, and they thoroughly deserve to top this 7. So that's it for our top 7. Honourable mentions go to a couple of the home nations, Wales and Northern Ireland, as well as Denmark. Let us know any you think we've missed, thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.